I'm Sales Team Turnaround Specialist Jeremy DeMerchant, and each week I bring sales leaders like you, experts and insights that will help you level up your leadership, motivate like a master, and ultimately crush your comp plan. If it's time to raise the bar on your team's performance, then it's time for Sales Team Rescue. Welcome to Sales Team Rescue. I'm your host, Jeremy DeMerchant, and this is episode number 86. So today I want to talk about an issue that's actually come up a few times in the last week or so with different clients that I'm working with, different sales teams. And one of the things is sometimes as we get into this flow, the flow that we get in isn't always the best flow. Now, I want you to be really, really self-aware of how you're showing up to your sales calls. So whether you're a business owner doing the calls yourself, whether you're a sales rep on a sales team, I want you to check yourself. Like, check your emotion, check your state, and check to see, like, are you showing up in the way that you need to? And there's been times when I've had to have people have this conversation with me, and I've had to have this conversation with myself. It's sometimes that I'll show up bringing all the baggage of the day or the week or whatever with me to the sales call. Now, if I jump on a call and I'm speaking to somebody, they don't care actually how my day is. They want me to be in a good mood. They want me to be positive. They want me to have high energy, right? Not too high energy depending on where they're at, but they want to have a positive environment and energy created for them when they get on the phone. And that's the only way they're going to talk to you. So you want to make sure that you're showing up and not going, well, it's A and it's B and it's C and it's D. Tell me if you're ready to move forward. Like, that's not a sales conversation, right? We want to be really, really clear on what we do. And I also want to create this distinction. You often don't need to be giving a presentation to the person you're on a call with. Now, it might sound crazy, but this is the power of checking your state, knowing what state, what emotional state, what energetic state that you're in when you're in this sales conversation. So when you show up and you're speaking to somebody, your goal isn't to present your product. Okay. If you're in front of a group of investors and you're a startup or you're looking for venture capital, yes, your job is to go and pitch your product, your business plan, your revenue projections, all this stuff. Yes, totally. But when we're talking straight up sales, you're meeting one-on-one or, one-on-one in person or virtually with a potential buyer. Your focus really needs to be on figuring out what their problem is. I don't care what your solution is until I feel like you understand my problem. Okay, that's like the ultimate secret to selling, is understanding who it is you're speaking to, understanding what the challenge is, and solving it. If you've got a solution for them, you better offer it. But if you're going to go, okay, you know what, and I am super guilty of this throughout my career. Okay, so I'm not pointing fingers. I've been there more than I'd like to admit. But if your conversation goes to, well, let me tell you about the program, or let me tell you about the product, or let me give you the 10,000-foot view, that's a sign that your conversation is going in the wrong direction. Okay, if you're not directly answering a question that your prospect has, then you're going into what I'm going to call presentation mode, then you're missing an opportunity. You're going, okay, everybody, this is like, you're getting into like on stage mode. If there is an audience of 1,000 people, yeah, you want to give the ins and outs. But the power that you have one-on-one is that you can find out what's important to this person. You can find out what their wants and their needs truly are. Okay. I have a client right now who specializes in helping people build systems in their business. And if that is something that'll help you, let me know. I'll connect you. But when people want systems in their business, they don't want systems in their business. They want peace of mind. They want to be taken out of the day-to-day. They want to have freedom. They want to have flexibility. They don't actually want the systems. The systems are the solution. They're the medication. But you need to make sure that you're identifying their problem. If I come to you and say, look, I've got a headache. Well, the medical answer would be go drink more water. But we don't want that solution. We want the fix. We want you to take our problem and solve it. And here's the the acetaminophen or the ibuprofen that's going to help solve the headache. But if you give a presentation, let me tell you about how this brand of acetaminophen is the best in the world. I don't care. Just fix my headache. Okay, and I want you to think about that. So you got to come to the conversation in this state of, I'm going to go save somebody. I'm going to go fix a problem. I'm going to make someone's life better. I don't need to do a song and dance presentation. If you find yourself saying things like, all right, let's jump into the spiel. Or someone says, hey, let me hear your spiel. That's where you lose personal connection. So my challenge for you today, and I'm going to keep this short and sweet. My challenge for you today is on your next sales conversation, focus 90% of the time on learning what the challenge and experience your prospect is having. If you can do that, then you spend the other 10% of the conversation solving it. And in case you weren't clear, solving it is making them the offer. So for example, if I'm going to come into your world, and let's just say in your world it's snowing, okay, where you're at right now, maybe it's snowing, maybe it's wintertime, maybe it's not normally supposed to snow and it randomly does. We're in a weird time right now. But let's just say your problem is, and this is a problem I had not too long ago, I had a bunch of snow in my driveway, or snow was coming and I didn't have anyone to plow my driveway. And my problem was I didn't want to exert the energy, or more specifically the time, to shovel my driveway. Well, for me, I want to know who's going to do the best job. But so when I reached out looking for people, if they said, well, let me tell you how I'm going to do this. Step 1, I'm going to come and assess your driveway. Step 2, I'm going to figure out the cubic feet of snow that it could handle. I don't care. How long do I have to wait from when the snow fills my driveway to when you empty it? How long is that going to be? What's that timeline? Are you going to have me out by 7 a.m.? Are you going to have, is it going to be after the road plow goes by? That's all I care about. I don't care what happens on your end. I don't care how you deliver as long as you deliver. So my challenge to you is just drop the presentation if you're one-on-one. Okay, you can speak about the product or service, of course, because your prospect's going to have questions. But if you feel yourself getting into presentation mode, and it probably sounds like, well, let me tell you a little bit about what we do. They don't actually care. They want you to solve their problem. So when you jump on the call with them, please, 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 please solve their problem. You don't need to go to the ends of the earth to make sure that they know each little component. They don't need to know hours and all the logistics of things. Unless they ask, then they're saying that it's important to them. But if you're sharing this information proactively, and you know that it truly doesn't matter, but you're like, well, I just want you to know that this is going to take at least 5 hours a week of work from you. That's much less appealing. Now, I don't think anyone expects things to happen without any work. But if they don't ask the question, it's probably not a concern. And if you bring it up, you make it a concern. Okay, so keep that in mind. We want to keep it simple. Sales is simple. Identify the problem and solve it. That's it. And we complicate it because it's so easy to complicate. Just keep it simple. Okay? We want to make sure that people know what they're getting, but let their questions guide you. Let their questions. This is when you're one-on-one. Okay, totally different story when you're in front of a group. But when you're one-on-one, let their questions guide you, and let the answers that they give to the questions that you ask also guide the conversation. Find out what's important to them. Why does it matter? Why did I want my driveway plowed? Is it because I had to be out by a certain time? Is it because my last plow person stopped coming? Maybe I was a jerk to work with, and my last plow driver just didn't want to work with me. These are the things that are more relevant when you're asking about how do we solve this problem? What are things we got to be aware of? But don't go in with this agenda of, okay, here's a presentation. Here's step 1, step 2, step 3 of your presentation. If you're one-on-one, it's very rare that you need to give a quote-unquote presentation. For the most part, you've got somebody coming to a call that is intrigued by something that was said. Build on that, ask questions, dig deeper, find the problem. and then ask them if they'd like to solve it. And a little extra for experts, if you can weave some stories into the conversation about how you've solved it for other people, it builds up some authority. But you don't need to go into presentation mode. You don't need to get out the PowerPoint. You don't need to get to the whiteboard. You just need to answer questions. Okay? And that's once you've gotten really clear on what their problem is and giving them the confidence that you can solve it. So I hope that makes sense. If you agree with me, give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a follow. If you disagree with me, I want to hear about it in the comments. Okay? So if you were watching this live on Facebook right now, you can throw it in the comments. If you're watching in the replay, of course, put it in the comments. Let me know. Do you agree or disagree? Am I making a good point or am I crazy out of my mind? Let me know. If you are watching this on YouTube, down in the comments, give me some likes, some dislikes. Just let me know that you're there. If you are listening to this on the podcast, then one, please subscribe. I want to make sure that if you're getting value from these sales tips and these sales topics, that you don't miss a single episode. We're releasing new episodes every single week. And if you completely disagree, or you completely agree, either way is fine, go to salesteamrescue.com. Let me know. Okay. On that page, you can actually book a time to chat with me or my team, and a complimentary call. If you want to see if you're ready to grow your sales team, you want to see if you're ready to increase your revenue, if you want to double your sales in 12 months or less, let me know. We'll get on the call, see if you're the right fit. Okay, there's little things like this. How people show up to calls, how people assess parts of the sales process, even the technology that you use in putting the pieces together for your sales process. All this matters and can play such a big part in your ability to grow and scale your sales team. So if you're ready to grow your sales team, go to salesteamrescue.com right now, scroll to the bottom or click the book a call link, and it'll take you to the bottom, and schedule a risk-free, complimentary conversation with me just to see where you're at. Okay, I'm going to assess whether or not you're ready, and we'll see if we're a good fit to work together. If not, no worries. If we are, then we're going to go do this thing, and we're going to go change your business forever. Okay, guys, so this has been episode number 86 of Sales Team Rescue. Again, I'm Jeremy DeMerchant, and we will see you right here next Wednesday on Headspace TV at 2 p.m. Eastern. Again, replay or link to the podcast, those are over at salesteamrescue.com. We will see you next week, guys. Remember, get uncomfortable, get results. Cheers. Thanks for joining me. Let's keep the conversation going. You can find more episodes and a link to join our online community over at salesteamrescue.com. If you haven't already, be sure to hit subscribe and give the show a review to help us reach more sales leaders like you. If you'd like our support in creating your own high-performance sales team, book a call with us at salesteamrescue.com.